We're here to talk about the candidates 2022 preview before the big championship. Who are the players? The 8 candidates. 1 spot to challenge Magnus Carlsen. 8 top players. How do they rank? Here are the ranking according to the FIDE rating, the classical chess rating. Top 3, Liren, Firouzja and Caruana. Note that Liren is the only one having a rating above 2800, still below Carlsen. In the middle, Nepomniatchi, Rapport and Nakamura. At the bottom, Duda and Radjabov. So this is a field. Now let's see a few games and a few tactics and openings for this candidate. Here we go. Hikaru with the white pieces, playing knight f3, d5 by ding Liren. So they go on like that, and we reach a fairly standard position, Queen's Gambit decline. Alright, the game goes on, and the critical moment is here. This is black to play. Feel free to pause the video. And here with black, ding Liren played f4, a crushing move. Now if Hikaru were to take, then taking here, queen h3 check, checkmate. Now on f4, the only way to cover for this threat is rook h1. How would you win? Take on h1, and here queen e4, check, and win the rook on h1. So therefore, after this move, f4, Hikaru resigns. Very powerful display by ding Liren. In this game, this is a classical game played this year between Hikaru Nakamura white and Rapport black. I think Hikaru is a stronger player, and here they went in a game where Hikaru plays d4. But over here on move 12, after knight g7, Hikaru starts with g4, not afraid to attack against Rapport. And I think he put some pressure, and at the key moment here, black missed a move. And Hikaru played, feel free to pause the video, in this position he played bishop takes here. Now if black were to take, simply you would have here a fork and be better with all of these pawns. So in the game, knight b3 attacking, the rook was played, then the game continued, and eventually Hikaru was able to advance his pawn, especially playing h5, and eventually with the rook and the bishop over here, he was able to win and infiltrate and win the rook endgame. So here, advantage Hikaru. On to the next game. In this game, playing white, Nepomniatchi, the former challenger, with the black pieces, Duda, a talented young player. I still think that Nepomniatchi is a stronger player and has more chances to win the tournament. Here they play a very standard opening and a4 play. Keep in mind that Nepomniatchi played this opening against Carlsen in a World Championship. So it's very strong. Let's go back in the game here. How did Nepomniatchi wrap up the game and win against Duda? He played queen f3. Now, queen move here, knight g4, queen b7 attacking the rook. And here, what is the crushing move for white? Rook b6. Now, if black were to take, that didn't happen in the game, but that would be check, 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 and here, check one more time, attacking the king and the rook. Let's say you move the king, you have a winning endgame. So in the game, black did not take and retreated. It doesn't matter. Check. Rook b7, Beautiful. And the black king will be checkmated. So let's go to the next game featuring candidates. Here we have two young players, but Alireza Firouzja, right? We saw already number 3 in the world, only 18 years old. Now in this game, he played e4, and he can play d4 as well, but he's more an e4 player, and he played Rapport. Now that was a classic game in September 2021 last year. Once again, I think Alireza Firouzja is so talented and gifted, and while he may be tough against Caruana or Nepomniatchi, he still thinks he has so much talent. He should definitely do well, definitely in the upper tier of the tournament. Now, let's say in this game, the game continued, and eventually here, that was white to play. Feel free to pause the video. What would you do with white? And here the winning move was queen d3 check. So of course the natural idea would be knight f5. But now black would do rook e5. And if you're trying to capture the bishop, black capture here, and that's not clear. So instead, Firouzja saw that, gave a check here, the king moves, and only now knight f5, attacking the bishop here, and the bishop on d6 is lost, and white won. Very impressive by Alireza here, and the whole world wants to see if he can make it this time around, or if not, in the coming years as a challenger. In the likes game features Radjabov, Teimour Radjabov from Azerbaijan against Nepomniatchi. So Radjabov's story, he qualified for the previous candidates, but because of COVID, he declined to participate. Therefore, he was seeded in this 2022 tournament. He's a very solid player, and here let's see the whole game. You will see what I mean. So he's very hard to beat, but also doesn't take a lot of chances. So here we have a Grunfeld defense. That's a very sharp defense. Let's see what Radjabov does with white. 92, okay, it's a bit surprising. Check. Attack the queen. Attack the queen. And draw. So the two players tied the game and drew the game. So clearly Radjabov will not try very hard to win with white. And because he's a bit rusty and the lowest ranked players, even though he's hard to beat and very solid, I don't see him as a contender. But I wanted to cover every candidate in case one of them makes it. So we don't know. We will be watching the tournament in Madrid, Spain, and let the best player win the right to challenge Magnus Carlsen. Thank you very much. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe.